being a DJ is fun, is exciting, is a good way to leave off stress and things of that nature. Now I know that there are some DJs who want to, after years of practice, at home in their little home studio or in their bedroom, would like to start showing their ways outside. Would like to land that first gig, or maybe land that first residency, but they are experiencing that it is not as easier as they thought it would be. Now I know there's been some videos that's out there telling you, how to land your first gig, or the steps on how to get gigs and things of that nature. But truth to be told, if you are a new and upcoming DJ, those things that you're being told is is not true. I'm just going to be up and honest. It's just not true, because you're going to run into a lot of different situations. You're going to run into a lot of um, obstacles, and you're also going to run into a great number of pushback, and let's to be honest, disrespect from DJs who's been there. Now, if you are a DJ that's been playing at clubs and festivals all over the world, this video is not for you. So, just let it fly. If you're an established DJ and you had established gigs and residencies in the city that you are reside in, don't bother turning or listening to this video either, because this is not for you either. This video is for new and upcoming DJs who've been practicing and been either have their channels on Twitch, or they be, you know, recording their mixes on their SoundCloud and things of that nature, and they feel as though they are ready to, take that next step, go to that next level of landing their first gig, and they've probably been out there listening to all these different channels that's out there saying you got to go out there, you got to support, you got to talk to the promoters, you got to talk to other DJs, and see, where you can get, if it's a possibility you can get a spot and things of that nature, and they find out that all that was for naught, because they still at the same situation as they started. This video is for you, because I'm going to just give you the skinny. So buckle up and let's begin. Househeadspeakz. I happen to be a DJ and been DJing since 2017. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm mainly going to be speaking to my new and upcoming DJs who are finding it very hard to land that first gig or land that residency at their favorite club and venue, and wondering what are they doing wrong, what's going on, why they're not being chosen. They did all their due diligence. They post their music out on their socials. They recorded all their mixes out on their SoundCloud. They have their live mixes on either YouTube or Twitch, or even Mixcloud Live, and things are still not progressing. They're still not landing that gig. Well, I'm going to give you some factors on why it has been difficult for a new and upcoming DJ to land a gig here in 2023. Now, you would think that, okay, we almost 3 years out of the pandemic, and you thought that, okay, things has opened. So why is it still an issue of me trying to land this first gig? Well, I'm gonna break it down to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the 7 factors that I have listed on my sheet, and then I'm gonna react to each one. So sit back, relax, and let's start with the first factor. Okay, we're going to start with factor one, which is increased competition. The DJ industry has become increasingly popular and accessible over time, leading to a higher number of aspiring DJs in the market, with more individuals pursuing DJ careers. The competition for gigs has intensified, making it more challenging for newcomers to stand out and secure opportunities. Yes, the fortunate and unfortunate that there are a lot of DJs that's out there. And the other issue is, which I'm probably will discuss this later. Not only there are more DJs that's out, and we're talking about all over the world, no matter what city, what town you live in, there's a lot of DJs out there. But what the thing that's not being told is there's less venues in these cities. I know here in the States, and I'm not gonna get to the States as a whole. I'm gonna get to Chicago in particular because I live in Chicago. Throughout, maybe I'll say 10 years, there's been a decrease in clubs and venues, a decrease. And especially if you a house and underground DJ, it's slim pickings here. There's not too many clubs that even will give you an opportunity because you don't play the music that they crowd wants. You know, because maybe their venue focuses on rap or EDM, or top 40 or popular music. So they won't even look your way if you're a house or techno or underground DJ. And also, like I said, a lot of clubs here in Chicago has closed down. I mean, closed down forever. So that also makes it real difficult for new and upcoming DJs to even land a gig. How are you going to land a gig where there's not too many clubs out there for you to go and try to get that gig or land that residency? So that's one of the factors. But I'm sure I'll be bringing this back, bringing this subject back again as far as the clubs and the venues and stuff like that. So for right now, like I said, there's a lot of competition out here. So, and you're gonna have to try to do what you can to stand out. So let's go on with the second factor. Okay, on to factor two, saturation of the market. The availability of affordable DJ equipment and software has made it easier for aspiring DJs to enter the market. As a result, there may be a saturation of DJs in your city, making it harder to differentiate yourself and get noticed by event organizations or venue owners. I'm gonna call cap on that. And the reason why I'm gonna call cap on that because, like I said, it's saying that DJ equipment and software has made it easy for aspiring DJs. Yes and no. I mean, yes, you can purchase a controller and a laptop and some DJ software, and you can practice and learn how to DJ. But no, because still, DJ hardware companies are still going through the shortage of supplies. Therefore, it's still taking you longer to get a certain controller that you want. I mean, I'm going to use an example. As you can see before for you, I have the DJ 800. Now, for the longest time, I've been wanting to upgrade this to the DJ 1000. Okay, there's been two situations why I haven't done that as of now. Number one, it's still expensive. It's still 1,200 US. I don't have $1,200 to be paying for for an upgraded controller. That's number one. Number two, it still takes weeks to even get that controller because, like I said, due to still the shortage of supplies that it takes to create these controllers, it's still making it difficult for a DJ to want to upgrade, or even a DJ who wants to purchase a controller, you know. And still, even if you want to get the biggest DJ equipment, that's even worse because those equipments are A, too expensive, and B, takes too long for you to get them. Now, if you are an established DJ or a DJ that performs, on a regular basis, yeah, that's easy for you because you have the means, you have the money, you have the resources, And 9 times out of 10, most of the DJs are already being sponsored by companies like Pioneer and Record Box and things of that nature. But if you are up and coming DJ, you don't have that luxury because you could be either working a 9 to 5 or you could be a younger a young DJ who who probably wants to learn, and your parents just can't afford the equipment is needed for you to become a DJ. So for them to blame it on saying that the saturation of the market is due to affordable DJ equipment, again, I'm gonna call cap on that because the controllers nowadays are not as cheap as as you tend to be. Now, yeah, there are some controllers are like you have the DJ LLX4. That one is $299. Now, remember, it's the controller that took that was there previously was the DDJ 400. That was only $250, and the reason why I know that because I personally purchased that controller before I upgraded to the controller that you see before me now. So I'm going to say that the way this thing is, it's not due to the saturation. There's other factors at play, and we're gonna go to those later. So let's go on to factor three. Moving right along to factor three, which is high expectations and experience requirements. Event organizers and venue owners often have high expectations for DJs in terms of skill, experience, and knowledge of various music genres. This may prefer DJs who have a proven track record, a strong online presence, or a portfolio of successful gigs. As a new DJ, this can be challenging to meet these expectations and compete with more experienced professionals. Now, this is I will have this. This should be factor number 1 and 2, because when you have these event organizers, and these venue owners, 9 times out of 10, they're always going to pick DJs who they're friends with or who is well known. I mean, it's a rarity they will pick an upcoming DJ who only experience he or she has is, do their Twitch account, or their or whatever the case may be, or through their bedroom, or whatever the case may be. So the idea of anyone telling a new and upcoming DJ, all you have to do is go to these clubs and venues, and you talk to the organizers, and you speak with the venue owners, and you tell them who you are and this and that, and you keep going, and you keep spending your damn money, and keep supporting and all this stuff. And then they keep seeing your face, and then one day they're like, well, we would like to have you play for us or open for a new event. That's a bunch of crap, because that's not what has happened. These organizers and these venues are only getting their doggone friends, people that they know, and they also only getting known DJs. I know this from experience. When I was a blogger, I went to most of these venues here in Chicago, met most of these DJs, saw the lineups that is chosen. So I know firsthand how the game is being played. If you're a new and upcoming DJ, going this route is going to set you up for failure, period. And also, this notion of, well, you have to pay your dues, so you're going to have to go out there. Okay, how are you going to pay your daggone dues when you don't even get a chance? No one even don't give you a shot. But yet you're supposed to pay your dues. My thing is this. What if you have paid your dues? Okay, I'm going to use me as an example. I started out as a dancer. I've been in house music for close to 6 decades now. I started as a dancer. Then through the years, I became a blogger and was known as a blogger. And then on top of that, I had successful online radio shows as host. And I also promoted a couple events of my own that I, hired DJs of my own. Now that's 4 things that I've done in the realm of the house community. And you still gonna tell me, because now I'm a DJ, I still gotta pay my dues? You better shut the frick up with that crap. If you already established yourself in the scene, you already paid your dues, period. This is another way for these organizations, for these organizers and these venues to tell you, we don't know you long enough, so you're not gonna get no shot here. My thing is this: how are you supposed to establish yourself if you don't get, a shot? That's just like, applying for a job. You might not have that experience. You have the knowledge, you have the drive, you have this and that. And they tell you, well, you don't have no experience. Well, how in the world are you supposed to get experience if you don't get if you don't give me a chance to gain experience? It's just, to me, it's a bunch of noise. It's just an excuse. And we're going to go on to factor 4. On to factor 4, limited networking opportunities. Networking is critical in the DJ industry. That is 100% true, as it helps build connections and secure gigs. That's a bunch of crap, but we're going to continue. However, As an established as a newcomer, you may have limited networking opportunities compared to established DJs who have been part of the scene for longer. Building relationships with event organizers, club managers, and other industry professionals takes time and effort. In other words, you're wasting your doggone time because it doesn't take anyone any time for some. I mean, it's not like you're asking to be a bloody headliner. All you asking is just let me open. You know, I played in one, two, I played at least 3 gigs when I started DJing here in Chicago. I opened every last one of them. It didn't bother me. I knew it was exposure. So I opened. I didn't actually get paid for it. Somebody, a fellow DJ wanted me to open for her because she was running late. So I did. I opened for an hour. She got there and then she played. You know, and then I opened for this one festival that went on in one of the neighborhoods in Chicago. You know, the guy knew that I was starting out as a DJ. He asked me to open, for the festival that he was organizing, and I did. He asked me again. I did it again. I did it two times, and I did it twice in that particular small little festival. So, but ever since then, I went through all the channels and have been asked. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you how crucial networking is. It is crucial and it's also critical. The reason why I was able to get the gigs that I did get at the time is because they knew me as a blogger. It's because when I was a radio host, I hosted major events. I um, I featured a array of DJs here in Chicago. So that's what I was known by. So my name was out there. But guess what? I put in the time and effort to do so. And I thought that with the credentials that I already had, I thought that will stand over when I become a DJ. I'm going to be honest, it was totally the opposite. I was a target. I was a threat because I already established myself. So if I wanted to get a gig and stuff like that, I was getting treated like I was a newbie, that I didn't have any networking credentials, which everybody knows my socials has always have grown and it has always been established. So I established myself as a person who was thrust into the house music scene. It's just that I was becoming a DJ. There was another round, but yet I was being treated as though, well, you don't know that much, so you still have to pay your dues. Like I said, I'm gonna cap on that because even when I did do everything that I was told to do, I didn't land any more gigs. I didn't open for any more DJs. I didn't do none of those things. So I decided to do it the way I wanted to do it. And that that alone has been part of my success. So when when they said you have when they said limited networking opportunities, no, you can network your butt off. That won't matter. I'm gonna say this again. If the organizer or the promoter or the venue owner, if they don't know you, if you're not known, if um if they already have their friends that they already got a lineup set up for them, or their friends who they have their own residencies, if all those combined factors are in place, you as a young and upcoming DJ who's trying to get in, you pretty much fighting a losing battle. I'm just letting you know that now. So on to the next factor. And the fifth factor is changes in venue preferences. The preferences of event organizers and venue owners for certain music styles or DJ types can change over time. What was popular in the past may not be in demand anymore, and new trends and styles may emerge. As a new DJ, understanding and adapting to these changes can be challenging, especially when trying to sorry, sorry, break into the scene. Yeah, that that can be the case. But what about the case of when these organizers and venues just tell you straight in your face they just want their friends, or they just want to hire established DJs or big name DJs so they can bring money to their venues, so they can so the organizers can pump their chest up saying, I brought this big name to this venue, so I know I'm gonna make my money. And this is what it's all about. Let's call it a buck, okay? And that's fine because if you are a club owner, yeah, your job is to make money. Otherwise, why you own the club and you're not making money? But my question is this: if you know there's an up and coming DJ that lives in the city that your club resides in, what is the doggone harm in giving that DJ an opportunity to play? So they can build their portfolio. So they can tell people, yes, I played at this certain vendor, and then they can extend themselves into other opportunities. What's the problem with that? I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is selfishness. If you want to know what changed between how it was 10 years ago to how it is today, selfishness. That's what changed. Because I remember back in the day, you know, when where there's only one DJ per venue, and that one DJ really had to be up to snuff because at that time, turntables and the mixer was the thing, and you better know your music because you from the time that club opens to the time that club closes, you were it. So you had to put your best foot forward. Now, of course, now things has changed. More lineups. Um, you know, Now more venues are being more uh, nitpicking on who they want. They may only want the known DJs or maybe the well established DJs. If you're a new or upcoming, well, you're not gonna play at my place. You know, you might want to, or they'll set you up for the worst days to play. They might stick you on a Monday or stick you on a weekday where you don't have the time to play on on a weekday. You know, because I done seen venues have done that. If you're a new and upcoming DJ, they'll stick you in on the worst day. You know, now yeah, there were venues that some of those days were pretty popular and people did win, but every DJ knows they want to play on the peak days, which is Friday, Saturday, and at times Sunday, depending on the club and venue. But if you don't get that opportunity, what you're supposed to do? And especially when you're being told that you got to go and support. So you want me to go into your club and venue, spend my time, my effort, my money on drinks or whatever, and then the chances of you even consider me to open for an event is still slim to none. I'll freaking pass. So yeah, these venues do have a preference. And I hate to break it to you, young and upcoming DJs, unless you really know someone in the industry strongly that will give you that push, you pretty much SOL. You're gonna have to find another way to do it. Okay. But anyway, let's get on to the next factor. On the factor six, which is limited access to established venues. Established venues have often had their preferred roster of DJs with whom they have long standing relationships. Breaking into these venues as a new DJ can be difficult as they may be hesitant to take a chance on someone without a proven track record or without strong recommendations. This is the truth, young and upcoming DJs. This is the true reason why gigs are a shortage, or no matter where you live, and especially in the States, Chicago in particular. Because these venues, these organizers, they have their preferred DJs. Whether they're big names or they live in the same city as you are and they're established. They're gonna pick them over you every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Your chances of ever playing at the city that you live as a young and upcoming DJ, you can just forget it because it's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you the truth. This is the honest truth. No matter how much you try, no matter how many times you have talked to these owners, talked to the promoters, talked to your fellow DJs, if they feel that A, you don't have enough experience, or B, you just a doggone threat, you're just out, period. So my advice to you is find your own way. If it takes you starting your own residency at a small place near your neighborhood or somewhere that you may know the owner and he knows you well, and start your residency there, that's what you will have to probably do. Or if you have, established relationships with fellow DJs outside your city and they giving you an opportunity to visit their city and play there, that's another route you may have to go. But to think that you're going to get a gig in the city that you live with these venue owners and these promoters and these DJs and these organizers who are already telling you, We already have the DJs that we want. We already have the DJs that we prefer to play in um, our event or our party or our venue, you know. And we have the means and the resources to get big name DJs to play in those particular things. So we already have that locked in. So, we sorry, just, come back with us in another 10, 15 years when you have established yourself. Why? Why should you? Find another route, my young and upcoming DJs. I'm telling you, find another route because the way things are, especially in 2023, don't think it's going to get any better next year or the year after the year. It's not. And especially when clubs and venues are decreasing on a daily basis, especially here in the US, you can forget it. You'll be better off getting you a group of DJs, save you some money, and buy you a spot and do your own thing. Because if you depend on these established venue owners and organizations, don't do it because it's a waste of time. Okay, let's go to the seventh and last factor. Okay, the seventh and last factor is shifting business models. The business models of clubs, bars, and event organizers may have evolved, impacting the availability of gigs for DJs. Some venues may rely more on resident DJs or established headliners, leaving fewer opportunities for new and upcoming DJs. Yeah, that's what's really going on right now. New and upcoming DJs, they're not looking for y'all. They're not looking for us. Not in the city that you live, because they already have their headliners that they know they can contact to play at their venues. They already have their established DJs that they know and build relationships with that they can get to, for their events and things of that nature. But as far as new and upcoming DJs, nah. You're not even a thought. You're not even an afterthought. Because all they're gonna tell you is give yourself 5, 10 years. You gotta pay your dues. We need to see you play at other places before you can play here. Who do you know? Oh, you know this person or that person? Have they seen you play? Have they heard your music? Have they seen your socials? No? Yes? And even if they have, they're like, no. Because why? Because I guarantee you, those established DJs, and I'm going to get the established DJs. I'm not even going to mess with the headliners who has played all over the world. We're just going to take them out of the equation. We're just going to get to the established DJs that's in your city. You know what they're telling those venues owners? I don't want to play with him or her. I never heard of them. I heard they mix, but they're this, they're that. And they could be good. Their mix could be flawless. They probably have their socials where they're doing their shows. Hey, their online presence on their Twitch channel could be growing followers, and they're playing well. And so, okay, they probably saying the same. Well, I seen them playing here and there, so like that. Yeah, they all right, but they don't want them in their lineup. Why? It's called fear. fear that their spot going to be taken. That's what it is. That is what it's all about when it comes to this scenario. It ain't the shifting of business models. This business model has been going on since I've been in the scene. So it ain't no different. It hasn't evolved. It's the same thing, but they wrap it, but they put a different wrapping. If you know, if you're an established DJ and you know this on a bit of, yeah, you are good to go. And they also the ones that will dictate that promoter and that owner who they want to play in with them as far as a lineup and who they don't want to play as far as they line up. So don't get it twisted. If they feel that you are a threat, guess what? You'll never play. Not in your city, you won't. Because they're afraid you will take their spot. And I say this, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face. If you're a DJ and you have learned from playing with a controller, which I have, I don't know how to play Bantam to save my skin. I'm a DJ who loves, who embraces the tech. I don't care about the old ways. I care about what's now. But even though I started with a controller, that does not mean that I don't know how to play on CDJs in the mixer. I have proof and I have witnesses that see me play that. So I can play the professional DJ equipment. So don't get it twisted. But what I do want to say is this. If you're established DJ and you threatened by a DJ who has only learned or you only seen play with a controller and you threatened by them, that means you suck anyway. And I'm gonna call it like it is. That means you suck as a DJ anyway. And the reason why you got that gig because you knew somebody. It wasn't because of your skills. Okay. Now, we're going to get to the recap and my 2 cents. And I already know no one is not going to like what I'm going to say. Despite these challenges, there are also new avenues and opportunities for DJs today, such as online platforms, streaming services, and social media. Building an online presence, producing original music, and exploring alternative gig opportunities like private events, weddings, or corporate functions can help new DJs establish themselves in the industry. I kind of like that recap that I just read. I love the summary because it's absolutely true. If you're a new and upcoming DJ, I advise you don't stop begging. Stop going to clubs and venues. Stop trying to say you're going to support them. Stop wasting your doggone money. There's other ways of getting your name out there. First things first, make sure your socials is tight. Your socials needs to be nothing but DJing. If you have an online presence, you need to post that on your social. If you want to record your set, that should be part of your social. If you want to do like even a short, few minutes of you playing and mixing, I've done that. That needs to be on your social. Anything that can be used to build your brand as a DJ, you need to use it. And social media is, I'm going to say with all honesty, and experience. One of the best tools you can ever have. Because without social media, Househeadspeakz wouldn't even exist. I wouldn't exist as a blogger. I wouldn't exist as a radio host, and I damn sure would not exist as a DJ without the means of social media. So that's the one tool every new and upcoming DJ must use. If you're not using it, you're shooting your own self in the foot. Streaming services, yes. Yes, yes, and yes. I have a Twitch channel, Househeadspeakz _. And I have a channel here on YouTube where I'm giving new and upcoming DJs tips and tricks and nuances and information on becoming better DJs and establish themselves. So those are my two. And also, I also design my own t-shirt. See, I don't even buy no one's gear anymore. I design my own and I wear my own. Another way to brand yourself. Establish yourself. You got to put yourself forward. You can't use the old ways anymore. They don't work anymore. Okay. And also, exploring alternative gigs. One of the things I was tell any new and upcoming DJ is to play outside of your city. Now remember, I've been DJing since 2017. Throughout that time, I have played South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, and played numerous of times in Toronto. That's right, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Every time I visit there, I've been able to play there. Every time. And that still continues to this day. If I visit there, I can play there. Because I have established myself, through the DJs that I have called my friends. Also have gained great relationships to those DJs, and they support me as well as I support them. Also, look into private events. If you know somebody who's probably throwing a birthday or a wedding or a private event, no matter case when anniversary, stuff like that, ask them if they're looking for a DJ, and tell them, look, I can play, if it's one of those events where things get summer, just say, look, I can play a soulful or deep house set that will just, lighten the mood and stuff like that. If that particular event, private event, involves dancing, say, look, I can play a lot of up tempo. If the event involves a disco thing, hey, I can play a lot of disco and funky house. Make yourself well rounded. But yeah, you can do that too. I have even had the opportunity to play live stream for an organization at the company that I work for. I didn't even know that anybody knew me. Well, I had a few of my coworkers knew me as a DJ, knew I did it as a hobby. They recommended me. I was honored. I played, and everybody enjoyed it. And hopefully when the organization presumes next year, hopefully we, things that get set up where I can actually play there live in front of people, which will be awesome. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways of establishing yourselves. You don't have to go to a club venue owner and beg. You don't have to go to an organization and beg. You don't have to go to to any of these DJs uh, who's throwing their own parties and beg. You don't have to do none of that anymore. There's a lot of other ways that you can establish yourselves as a DJ. Utilize those. And if you get to the point where there's a new club that opens and you might want to tell them, hey, I have these credentials. I can open up for, I can bring DJs to your establishment, and I can also, you know, build up your venue. And then once you do that and have your own, then you don't have to worry about asking anyone for anything. And that's the key. So to my young upcoming DJs, use other means, because right now, the way things are with clubs and venues and festivals are concerned, if you're a new and upcoming DJ, they're not even going to give you a second look. And that's real talk. Despite these challenges, there are also new avenues and opportunities for DJs today, such as online platforms, streaming services, and social media. Building an online presence, producing original music, and exploring alternative gig opportunities like private events, weddings, or corporate functions can help new DJs establish themselves in the industry. I kind of like that recap that I just read. I love that summary because it's absolutely true. If you're a new and upcoming DJ, I advise you don't stop begging. Stop going to clubs and venues. Stop trying to say you're going to support them. Stop wasting your doggone money. There's other ways of getting your name out there. You know, first things first, make sure your socials is tight. Your socials needs to be nothing but DJing. If you have an online presence, you need to post that on your social. If you want to record your set, that should be part of your social. If you want to do like even a short, few minutes of you playing and mixing, I've done that. That needs to be on your social. Anything that anything that can be used to build your brand as a DJ, you need to use it. And social media is what I'm gonna say with all honesty and experience, one of the best tools you can ever have. Because without social media, Househeadspeakz wouldn't even exist. I wouldn't exist as a blogger. I wouldn't exist as a radio host, and I damn sure would not exist as a DJ without the means of social media. So that's the one tool every new and upcoming DJ must use. If you're not using it, you're shooting your own self in the foot. Streaming services, yes. Yes, yes, and yes. I have a Twitch channel, Househeadspeakz _. And I have a channel here on YouTube where I'm giving new and upcoming DJs tips and tricks and nuances and information on becoming better DJs and establish themselves. So those are my two. And also, I also design my own t-shirt. See, I don't even buy no one's gear anymore. I design my own and I wear my own. Another way to brand yourself, establish yourself. You got to put yourself forward. You can't use the old ways anymore. They don't work anymore. Okay. And also, exploring alternative gigs. One of the one of the things I was tell any new and upcoming DJ is to play outside of your city. Now remember, I've been DJing since 2017. Throughout that time, I have played South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, and played numerous of times in Toronto. That's right, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Every time I visit there, I've been able to play there. Every time. And that still continues to this day. If I visit there, I can play there. Because I have established myself, you know, through the DJs that I have called my friends. Also have gained great relationships to those DJs, and they support me as well as I support them. Also, look into private events. You know, if you know somebody who's probably throwing a birthday or a wedding or a private event, you know, no matter catch when anniversary stuff like that, ask them if they're looking for a DJ. You know, and tell them, look, I can play. You know, if it's one of those events where things get summer, just say, look, I can play a soulful or deep house set that will just, you know, lighten the mood and stuff like that. If that particular event, private event involves dancing, say, look, I can play a lot of up tempo. If the event involves a disco thing, hey, I can play a lot of disco and funky house. You know, make yourself well rounded. But yeah, you can do that too. I have even had the opportunity to play live stream for an organization at the company that I work for. I didn't even know that anybody knew me. Well, I had a few of my coworkers knew me as a DJ, knew I did it as a hobby. They recommended me. I was honored. I played, and everybody enjoyed it. You know, and hopefully when the organization presumes next year, hopefully we things that get set up where I can actually play there live in front of people, which will be awesome. You know, so like I said, there's a lot of different ways of establishing yourselves. You don't have to go to a club venue owner and beg. You don't have to go to an organization and beg. You don't have to go to to any of these DJs who's throwing their own parties and beg. You don't have to do none of that anymore. There's a lot of other ways that you can establish yourselves as a DJ. Utilize those. And if you get to the point where there's a new club that opens, and you might want to tell them, hey, I have these credentials. I can open up for, I can bring DJs to your establishment, and I can also, you know, build up your venue. And then once you do that and have your own, then you don't have to worry about asking anyone for anything. And that's the key, you know. So to my young upcoming DJs, use other means, because right now the way things are with clubs and venues and festivals are concerned, if you're a new and upcoming DJ, they're not even going to give you a second look. And that's real talk. I hope my young and upcoming DJs got some out of this video. Um, I wasn't trying to make this rant, but I wanted to give you guys the core truth about what's really going on and why it's going to be a tough road for my young and upcoming DJs to even try to land a gig in the city that you live. It's just the way it is. So if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, please follow me on my socials. You can go to my link tree on the underscore Househeadspeakz. It has all my socials and also my two websites, which is my DJ website, which is househeadspeaksdjs.com. Also my merch website, which is househeadspeaksdesigns.com. Until then, peace out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a healthy work week. And see you on the next one.